Hello, I'm Kevin Canals with InsureMeKevin.com, here to introduce another exciting video about insurance. Specifically, the differences between an insurance agent, an insurance broker, and insurance producer. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section, or you can contact me and I'll try and do my very best to answer them. All right, let's get started. Insurance agent, broker, producer. What are the differences? The title insurance agent, broker, or producer are almost always used interchangeably. There can be subtle differences between the roles of the three titles depending on the particular type of insurance the person is representing. Regardless of the title, the person selling an insurance product needs to be licensed by their state, such as the California Department of Insurance. Occasionally, I am asked whether I am an insurance agent or broker. The underlying premise of the question is that the person does not want their insurance options limited to only those insurance companies the agent represents. The assumption is that a broker will not steer the client into an insurance policy that he or she receives the highest commission for. For the purposes of this discussion involving health insurance, there are no brokers. We are all agents. But not all agents are equal when it comes to the health insurance plans they represent. First, let's tackle the title of insurance broker. In general, an insurance broker may have a contract with the consumer, and the consumer will pay the broker a fee for their services. Similar to a real estate agent who finds the dream home for their client, the broker has an agreement with the consumer to find the best insurance for their situation. Presumably, the broker will go out and get quotes from all the different carriers for that particular line of insurance and present them to the consumer. The consumer pays the broker, but the broker may also receive a commission from the carrier. Note, I use the term carrier as a reference to any insurance company who carries or underwrites insurance policies. Sorry for the jargon. One could say that a broker has more loyalty to the consumer or client than the carrier. Because of the contractual arrangement between the broker and client, there may be less bias in the presentation of the insurance products available to the consumer. From the viewpoint of the insurance company, a broker or an agent is a producer. However, when it comes to health insurance, there are no brokers. Just as the cynical name implies, producers produce enrollments for the health insurance carriers. I use the adjective cynical because producing sales emphasizes revenue for the carrier over service to the health plan member. Many of the health insurance companies use the umbrella term producer to refer to all of their appointed insurance agents. An appointed agent is a person who has signed a contract with the carrier to represent the carrier's products, and in return, the agent receives a commission. A broker does not necessarily have to be appointed by the carrier or sign a contract to represent the carrier's products. An insurance agent, as licensed by the state of California, is anyone who transacts insurance. The term transacts insurance means virtually all aspects of insurance, from marketing, quoting, selling, and servicing an insurance policy. Consequently, if you speak to your local insurance agency customer service representative, that person will most likely be a licensed insurance agent. Under California law, you must be licensed to represent and sell insurance in the state. A captive agent is one who works exclusively for the carrier. If you call one of the health insurance companies for information on their plans, the agent will only quote you the plans and rates for their company. These are captive agents and cannot represent other carriers. They are usually employees, but still may receive commissions or bonuses for their sales. Similarly, if you call your local insurance agent representing one of the nationwide home and auto lines, you will most likely only get quotes for the carrier that agency is associated with. There are also independent insurance agencies that represent a variety of different carriers. They can give you quotes from multiple carriers they are appointed with. An independent agent does not mean they represent all the different carriers for the lines of insurance that may be available to you. The task of getting appointed with all the different carriers can be very burdensome. In addition, many of the property and casualty lines for home and auto have production requirements. In other words, the agent or agency needs to sell so many policies annually to maintain their appointment with the carrier. To become appointed with an insurance carrier, an agent must sign a contract with the carrier and provide other information such as any necessary errors and omission insurance policy. The appointment is then registered with the state of California. You can visit your state's Department of Insurance website and see what types of insurance an agent is licensed to sell and which carriers they are appointed with. However, not all carriers may show on the list, and some carriers will only appoint the agent after he or she has submitted business to them. Fortunately, most health insurance companies do not have production requirements. An agent can sell 1 or 100 policies per year and still maintain their appointment. This is important for an independent agent such as myself working throughout California and who wants to represent all the different health plans regardless of where the individual or family lives. There are 19 different rating regions in California and 11 different health plans, most of which are not offered in all the different regions. Some health plans are only offered in one county, like Sharp in San Diego. With the advent of Covered California and the ability to assist individuals and families throughout the state, it is important to be appointed with all the carriers regardless of where I am located. From my perspective, if an agent is going to sell health insurance throughout the state of California, he or she needs to be appointed with all the potential carriers offered to a consumer. If an agent is not appointed with Sharp in San Diego County, and thereby would receive no commissions for an enrollment through Covered California, what is the incentive for the agent to even discuss Sharp Health Plan with a resident in San Diego? The lack of an appointment with an available health plan is a conflict of interest on the part of the agent. If the consumer is seeking health insurance through Covered California with the premium tax credits to lower the monthly premium, the Covered California agent contract states that certified insurance agents must represent all plans fairly. If you live in a region where there are 4 different health insurance companies offering plans to you, but the agent is only appointed with 2 of them, there is a bias on the agent's part to hope you enroll in one of the plans from one of the carriers he or she is appointed with. You should not be steered to a carrier because the agent is not appointed with the other health plans. You are within your rights as a consumer to ask what carriers the agent is appointed with, receives commissions for, and what the agent compensation may be for the enrollment. Some agents not appointed with a carrier and not able to receive a commission can still, and should, represent all the plans they are not appointed with. It is the ethical position to take. It is analogous to an agent enrolling an individual or a family through Covered California and having them determined eligible for Medi-Cal. Agents receive no commission from Medi-Cal enrollments. To be clear, Covered California does not pay agents for individual and family plan enrollments. The agents certified to transact insurance through Covered California for the individual and family plan market are paid a commission by the carriers. Covered California does pay commissions to agents for enrollments of small employer groups through their Covered California Small Business Exchange. If an agent is appointed with a carrier, that agent can also enroll individuals and families in off-exchange plans, directly with the health plan. You don't have to go through Covered California to get health insurance, but you can only receive the premium tax credit subsidies by enrolling in a health plan offered through Covered California. The problem for some agents is they may not be appointed with all the carriers. Aside from the compensation issue, an agent not appointed with a particular carrier may not be aware of all the changes with the health plan. Agents appointed with carriers get regular updates on changes to the provider network, pharmacies, and the drug formulary. This can be important consumer information necessary for you to make an informed decision. When an agent is appointed with the carrier, sometimes referred to as agent of record or broker of record, they can call the carrier on behalf of their client to resolve certain issues. If an agent is not appointed, then he or she cannot contact the carrier to help the client. In addition, if the agent receives no commission for the enrollment because they are not appointed, he or she has little incentive to advocate on behalf of the client. An appointed agent has a duty to the carrier and the consumer. If an agent enrolls a consumer in a health plan that does not include the individual's doctors or preferred drugs, it is a nightmare for both the carrier and the consumer. While the consumer makes the ultimate decision on which health plan to enroll into, the agent has the duty to provide guidance on which health plan best fits the needs of the client. An agent cannot be expected to anticipate all of your potential health care needs that may be subject to a particular health insurance plan. However, you should reasonably expect the agent to provide you with important information about how the health plan works, the provider network, and the drug formulary in order to make a competent selection for health insurance. You should never feel pressured to make a decision or to select a particular plan or carrier by your agent. You are the consumer and you are in control. Hi, I'm Tony Debonair. You may remember me from such films as Hey, That's Not My Agent, or He Took the Money and Ran. But today, I'm here to talk to you about life insurance.